Hey, Rob from Order 42 here, and today we are going to be talking about The Empty Man. Yes, a movie from 20th Century Studios just dropped in theaters last October, and now it's on HBO Max. Is it good? Is it scary? Is it worth watching? Let's find out. Written and directed by David Pryor and based on the graphic novel of the same name by Cullen Bunn, The Empty Man is the story of an ex-cop on the trail of a missing girl and comes across a secretive group attempting to summon a terrifying supernatural entity. The movie stars James Badgedale, Marin Ireland, and Sasha Frolova. So the whole reason that I'm even doing this review right now is because of Chris Stuckman. And if you don't know who Chris Stuckman is, he is a fantastic reviewer on YouTube and he's getting into filmmaking. So I'm actually really proud of him for that. But anyway, he did a review back in March about The Empty Man, and it really intrigued me, but it kind of dropped off my radar, didn't think about it. And then he did another video the other day talking about movies that he just wanted to talk about. And he was discussing The Empty Man and just kind of dropped it, and I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to see that. I wonder if it's available. Guess what? Just became available just in the last week or so on HBO Max. So I said, this is Providence. I need to watch this. In fact, let's just watch it right now. And boy, am I glad I did. I will also mention that Stuckman's video, kind of goes into a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. There's all of this information about, Fox, gave him all this David Pryor gave him all this money to make this movie, and then the acquisition of Fox by Disney, and the movie just kind of got dumped, and I mean all of this stuff, right? And the story behind all of this is from a podcast that David Pryor did, and both Stuckman's video and this podcast, with David Pryor sort of detailing all of the goings on with the movie. Those are linked down in the description if you're interested. So David Pryor is a first-time director, right? And typically a studio like Fox probably wouldn't give a first-time director this kind of budget. But David Pryor was actually responsible for a lot of the DVD special features on things like this. I don't know if anybody remembers the original DVD for Fight Club. It was an amazing journey. It's one of the great things about Blu-rays and DVDs. Was always my favorite part was the special features, because it's almost like a little miniature film school. You get to hear from the filmmakers about the process and all that stuff. And Fight Club was actually one of those that was an amazing experience on DVD. So I highly recommend you checking that out if you haven't already. But yes, David was able to learn, doing these special features. He was able to interview and talk with and learn from some of the best directors in the business. So, of course, he takes that and he brings it into this movie, because there are some definite, I would say, homages, if nothing else, to David Fincher and other directors here. The movie is gorgeous. I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. Some of the direction, the way that some scenes blend into the next, it's gorgeous, and it's hard to believe that this is from a first time director. And the soundscape, the sounds in this movie, some of them are so haunting that I got the creeps. I got the oogies. You know what I mean? It's just like, whoo. This movie just is dripping with atmosphere, and yeah, it's pretty freaky. In my opinion, the acting across the board is excellent, and I don't think there's one misstep that I can think of in the whole movie, other than maybe it being, maybe it could have used a couple of people, some more recognizable faces, maybe, in the but for the most part, I found it to be excellent. And the thing about this movie is the dread. There's a feeling of dread across the whole movie. It drips with atmosphere, and I don't know. For me, that is sometimes a really good experience to have. So I really enjoy that. I feel like this movie is slow and methodical, and some might say that that's a bad thing, but I have to say, uh, modern filmmaking, and I guess modern editing to a certain extent, it tires me out, and it's just like I feel like I've been seeing the same thing just a lot lately, and every now and then a movie comes along to say, hey, just Just calm down. I'm here to tell you a story. Let the story unfold. And you know what? I really appreciated this about this movie. I mean, and I think a lot of people will appreciate that. I think there's also a lot of other people that will be bored by, say, the 30-minute mark, because that's one of the weird things about this movie. There's a 25-minute intro before the title card even comes up. Yeah, 25 minutes. This is a movie that is going to take its time. And like I said, I thought that was a good thing. You know, with some movies, it's not about the destination, right? It's about the journey and the friends you meet along the way. Look, the ending is not my favorite, okay? It's just not. But I have to say, I enjoyed the journey, right? And sometimes that's what's important, right? It's not about whether every single piece of the filmmaking is to your standard, right? Sometimes it's wow. If you look at the thing as a whole, man, it's a really really well made movie. And I got to say, even though I didn't like the ending, that's more about a problem with, yeah, I didn't like the way that story wrapped up. But that doesn't mean that the movie itself was bad. You know what I mean? Right now, The Empty Man, as of July 21st, is sitting at a 65% over on Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience score is even lower at 39%. And I don't know what that really means, other than maybe people just don't have patience for a movie like this. But like I said, I really, really enjoyed the journey getting there, even if the ending isn't the best, in my opinion. I still think it's worth it, especially if you're into filmmaking, if you're into, just a new filmmaker doing something different. I mean, that's a good thing, right? Now, my goal in this video wasn't to make just a complete echo of everything that Chris Stuckman said, but there's a lot of things that that he says in his review that I really really agree with, and I really really enjoyed this journey, and I thank him for bringing it to my attention. So my question is for you: have you checked out The Empty Man? Did you have the patience, like I did, to sit through and really take this movie in? Because I feel like that's what this is. It's more of a take this movie in, not, let's just sit here and watch this. No, take it in. It's an interesting movie, and I'm kind of curious what you all think about it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.